Have you ever loved someone so much that you were willing to give them everything you had? Your time, your money, your heart, your future, and then one single signature, one quiet moment at a lawyer's office, destroyed it all. Asterisk, my name is Ethan. For 15 years, I woke up at 4:30 every morning, worked 80-hour weeks, said no to vacations, no to parties, no to starting my own family, all for one dream, to buy my parents the perfect retirement home. A place where they would never have to worry again. A place where they could finally rest after giving everything to raise me and my younger sister, Chloe. Asterisk, I still remember the day I found the house. It sat at the end of a quiet cul-de-sac, wrapped in old oak trees, with a wraparound porch that looked like it came straight out of a movie. 6 bedrooms, a pool, a garden big enough for Mom's roses. The listing price made my stomach drop, $1.8 million. But I didn't even blink. I thought, this is it. This is how I say thank you. This is how I make sure they never have to choose between medicine and groceries ever again. Asterisk, I put every penny I had into it. Sold my condo downtown, cashed out stock options, took a second mortgage on the small house I was living in. I even flew my parents out to see it before I signed the papers. Mom cried when she walked through the kitchen. Dad just kept squeezing my shoulder, too choked up to speak. They said, Ethan, we don't deserve this. And I told them, you deserve the world. Asterisk, we closed in March. I handed them the keys on their 40th wedding anniversary. I threw a huge party, catered dinner, string quartet, fairy lights in the trees. I made a speech that night. I still remember every word. Asterisk, Mom, Dad, everything I am, you gave me. Tonight, I finally get to give something back. This house is yours. Forever, I love you more than anything. Asterisk, everyone clapped. Mom hugged me so hard, I thought my ribs would crack. Dad raised his glass and said, to the best son in the world. That was the happiest night of my life. Asterisk, but 3 months later, I got a phone call that turned my entire world black. Asterisk, it was a Thursday afternoon. I was in the middle of a board meeting when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I ignored it. It buzzed again and again. Finally, I stepped out and answered. Asterisk, Mr. Ethan Harper. Asterisk, yes. Asterisk, this is Karen from First National Title Company. I'm calling about the property on Willow Creek Lane. Asterisk, my property. The mansion. Asterisk, is everything okay? I asked, already nervous. There was a long pause. Sir, your parents came in yesterday with your sister Chloe Harper and her husband. They transferred the deed. The house is now solely in Chloe Harper's name. You have been removed completely from the title. I laughed because it had to be a joke. What are you talking about? I bought that house. I'm the legal owner. Another pause. Actually, sir, you transferred ownership to your parents 3 months ago as a gift. They were within their rights to do whatever they wanted with it. I'm very sorry. Asterisk, the walls started spinning. I asked for the paperwork to be emailed immediately. 10 minutes later, I was staring at my laptop screen, reading the new deed over and over again. Property owner, Chloe Marie Harper. Relationship to previous owners. Daughter. Asterisk, reason stated, because she has children and will need the space more. Asterisk, that line. Because she has children, as if I didn't exist. As if everything I sacrificed meant nothing. Asterisk, I called my mom, straight to voicemail. I called my dad, same thing. I called Chloe. She picked up on the first ring, voice sweet as honey. Asterisk, hey big bro, what's up? Asterisk, Chloe, did you take the house? Asterisk, silence. Then a tiny laugh. Asterisk, oh, you found out. Look, Mom and Dad were worried about taxes and stuff. It just made more sense this way. Asterisk, made more sense. My voice was shaken. I gave that house to Mom and Dad, not to you. Asterisk, Ethan, relax. It's still in the family. Asterisk, it's in your name, only yours. Asterisk, well, yeah, because I have kids. You don't even have a girlfriend. What are you going to do with 6 bedrooms? I felt something inside me snap, like a bone breaking. Put Mom on the phone. Now asterisk, she's napping. Chloe, Ethan, don't be dramatic. It's just a house. Asterisk, just a house. 15 years of my life, every birthday I worked instead of celebrated. Every Christmas I sent money home instead of flying in. Just a house. Asterisk, I hung up and drove straight there. 90 miles an hour, the whole way. When I pulled up, Chloe's minivan was in the driveway, already parked in the spot where my car used to go when I visited. My niece and nephew were running through the sprinklers on the lawn I paid for. Asterisk, Mom opened the door. She looked smaller than I remembered. Asterisk, Ethan, you shouldn't have come unannounced. Asterisk, really, Mom, after what you did? She glanced behind her, then stepped outside and closed the door. Sweetie, please keep your voice down. The neighbors. Asterisk, the neighbors. I laughed, bitter and broken. You stole my house and you're worried about the neighbors. She started crying. We didn't steal anything. You gave it to us. Asterisk, I gave it to you and Dad. For your retirement, not for Chloe to raise her family in while I get nothing. Asterisk, Ethan, Chloe has 2 little ones. You're still young. You can buy another house someday. Asterisk, I'm 38. Mom, I have nothing left. I sold everything to give you this. Asterisk, she just kept crying. Dad never even came out. Asterisk, that night, I sat in my car in their driveway until 3 in the morning. I waited for them to come talk to me, to apologize, to fix it. They never opened the door again. Asterisk, for weeks, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying every moment, every thank you, every hug, every we're so proud of you. Were they all lies? Asterisk, then one night, drunk on cheap whiskey in a hotel room, I started digging. I went through old bank statements, old emails, old photos, and that's when I found it. Asterisk, years earlier. When I first started making real money, Mom had opened a joint investment account in her name and Chloe's name only. Every single month for 12 years I had been sending them $3,000 to help with the house and bills. That was $400,000 straight to an account I was never added to. They never once told me. Asterisk, I found text messages I wasn't meant to see, recovered from an old phone backup. Mom, to Chloe, 2 years ago. Keep Ethan focused on work. The more he makes, the more we can put away for your kids' college. Asterisk, another one. 6 months before the house. Chloe, do you think he'll really buy us that big house? Mom, he always does what we ask. He feels guilty for being the one who got away. We just have to make him think it's his idea. Asterisk, my whole life I thought I was the hero. Turns out I was the ATM. Asterisk, the worst part. They had already started renovating Chloe's new house. My money was paying contractors to knock down the library I designed for Dad, to turn it into a playroom for my niece and nephew. They posted photos on Facebook. Beyond blessed. Thank you to our family for making this dream possible. No mention of me. Ever. Asterisk, I was erased. Like I never existed. Asterisk, people kept asking me, Ethan, why aren't you in any of the family photos from the new house? I stopped answering. Asterisk, I wanted to burn the world down. But I didn't, because burning it down would have been too easy. I wanted them to feel exactly what I felt. Slow, empty, powerless. Asterisk. And that's when the plan started forming. Asterisk, first I went quiet. No more calls, no more texts. I blocked them everywhere. Let them think I was just licking my wounds. Asterisk, then I started working. Real work this time. For myself. Asterisk, I took the skills I used to build my company and turned them into something darker. I created a new private LLC under a trust, impossible to trace back to me. I hired the best real estate attorney in the state, and I waited. Asterisk, 6 months later, Chloe and her husband decided they wanted to upgrade even more. They took out a massive home equity loan on the mansion, $800,000, to buy a lake house for family vacations. They needed both my parents to co-sign because their credit wasn't strong enough alone. Asterisk, they never knew I still had access to my parents' email from years of managing their accounts. I saw every document, every approval, every celebration. Asterisk, that loan pushed the total debt on the mansion to over $2.1 million. Way more than the house was worth in the current market. Asterisk, phase 1. I started buying the mortgage. Quietly. Through shell companies. It took almost a year and every favor I had left in the banking world. But eventually the note was mine. Asterisk, phase 2. I found out Mom and Dad had never updated their estate plan after the transfer. Their wills still said all real property to be divided equally between our children, Ethan and Chloe Harper. Chloe's name on the deed didn't override the will, only delayed things until they passed. My lawyer smiled when he saw that. He called it a gift from the universe. Asterisk, phase 3. I waited for the perfect moment, and it came sooner than I ever imagined. Asterisk, Dad had a stroke. Minor, thank God, but the medical bills started piling up fast. Chloe couldn't cover them. She had stretched herself thin with the lake house and private schools. So my parents did the only thing they could think of. They decided to downsize. They put the mansion up for sale. Price, $1.65 million. A fire sale. That's when I made my move. Asterisk, I had my realtor submit an all-cash offer. No contingencies. 30-day close. $1.4 million. Insultingly low, but they were desperate. Asterisk, Chloe screamed at the listing agent. Called it robbery, but the medical bills were coming due. They accepted. Asterisk, the day before closing, my parents and Chloe met at the title company to sign. That's when they saw the buyer's name for the first time, Willow Creek Trust. Nothing that connected to me. Asterisk. They signed anyway, relieved, thinking they were free. Asterisk, closing happened on a Tuesday. Wednesday morning, a moving company showed up at 7 a.m., professional, polite, ruthless. Asterisk, Chloe opened the door in her robe, confused. Ma'am, we're here to remove all personal belongings by order of the new owner. You have 48 hours. Asterisk, what new owner? We just sold the house. Asterisk, yes ma'am. Sold it to our client. They take possession tomorrow night. Asterisk, that same afternoon certified letters arrived at my parents' new apartment and Chloe's mailbox. Asterisk, the mansion now belonged to a non-profit organization I had created months earlier. The Harper Family Second Chance Foundation. Its mission, to provide housing for single parents recovering from financial abuse, completely free of charge. The catch. My parents and Chloe were permanently banned from ever stepping foot on the property again. Legal trespass orders were already filed, but I wasn't done. Remember that $800,000 home equity loan, the one I now owned? I accelerated the full balance, called it due in 30 days. Standard clause they never read. Chloe's lake house went into foreclosure within weeks. She lost both homes. My parents' small savings, gone to legal fees and medical debt. I never raised my voice, never sent a single angry text. Everything was perfectly legal, perfectly quiet. 2 months later, I got a call from Mom. First time in almost 2 years. Ethan, please, we're being evicted from the apartment. Chloe's kids, they have nowhere to go. I let her talk. She cried, begged, promised to fix everything. When she finished, I spoke for the first time. Mom, do you remember what you told me when I asked why you gave the house to Chloe? Silence, you said, because she has children. Well, now other people's children will grow up in that house. Safe, happy, loved, children who actually need it. Click. I hung up. I heard through mutual friends that Chloe tried to fight the foundation in court. She lost, spectacularly. The judge called her claims entitled and merits. Last I heard, Chloe and her husband separated under the financial pressure. My parents moved into a low-income senior apartment 2 states away. They don't speak to Chloe anymore either. The family I sacrificed everything for destroyed itself without me lifting a finger. Sometimes people ask if I feel guilty. If I went too far, I don't, because every time I drive past that mansion now, I see kids playing in the front yard. Single moms laughing on the porch I paid for. Families healing in the home that was supposed to be my thank you, but became their lesson instead. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Love is not a blank check. Sacrifice does not buy loyalty. And sometimes family is just the people who share your blood until they decide they want your money more. I gave everything to people who saw me as a resource. Not a son, not a brother. Just a walking bank account with guilt they could cash in whenever they needed. But I also learned something bigger. Revenge doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be violent. The most powerful revenge is living better and letting the people who hurt you watch from the outside. Today I have a new house. Smaller, simpler, paid for in cash. Title in my name only. I date an incredible woman who loves me for me, not my wallet. We're talking about kids of our own someday. And every year on the anniversary of the day, I handed my parents those keys. I sent a donation to the foundation that now owns that mansion. Last year it was $100,000. This year it'll be more. Because now I get to choose where my money goes. I get to choose who deserves it, and the people who taught me that lesson no longer get a say. If you're watching this and you've ever been used, if you've ever poured your heart into people who threw it away the second they didn't need it anymore, know this. Your worth is not what you give. Your worth is what you decide to keep for yourself. Protect it, guard it, and never, ever be afraid to walk away when they show you who they really are. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't destruction. It's becoming the person they can never touch again. Thank you for listening to my story. If it helped even one of you see your own situation clearer, then every tear I cried was worth it.